Hey guys, it's the Right Hand Lad, and today I'm here with Zekray. We'll be talking about Mordred versus Carissa, the Battle of Princesses. Both are British second-born princesses in red, dresses with iconic swords, that lead failed rebellions against their countries because of their mummy issues. The first Fate versus Toaru matchup on the channel. Please be nice guys, my knowledge of Fate is abysmal, so I brought in an expert to deal with this. Introducing Zekray, the resident Fate expert for this video.
Hi guys, I will be helping Lack for this fight between Carissa versus Mordred. So sit back, relax, and listen to our sketchy rant about a random versus matchup. For this battle, stand battle assumptions as laid out by Versus Battle Wiki on their site. We'll also equalize the power system so Mordred can keep her abilities such as her magic resistance, and Carissa's hacks, like her Sixth End, will work on Mordred.
Now that the matchup and conditions and parameters are laid out, Zekray will talk you through Mordred's scaling.
To begin with, Mordred scaling, I think we should divide her section into potency, speed, durability, and her abilities or hacks. First, with the potency part. Mordred has been shown in various Fate works, but I'll focus on her best shown feats. Firstly, we got her fight with Arturia. I know it's when both were alive, but we can take it as a reference of the strengths Mordred has managing to clash her attacks and defend herself, even achieving a fatal blow to her. Her limit at least is when Arturia decides to pull out the Holy Lance wrong a minute. Another Then moving to Apocrypha, we have decent displays of strength. Firstly, her matchup against Siegfried is one where we can see she's able to fight him in equal conditions, managing to defend and also attack being enough to set. Both got almost the same strength, approximately. Later in the series, she has shown being able to parry one of Karina's attacks, but a notable thing is that while she's doing some effort to parry the attack, Karina isn't really putting all his effort on it, so we couldn't really scale them relatively. These great displays of strength are sure enough to put her strength at minimum around city level. Now, with the use of mana burst, which I'll take in a moment later, it can be extended to mountain level, supported by Arturia managing to parry Heracles attacks, since Mordred should be relative to her fighter strength with the help of Prana Burst. Then we have her best attack, her Noble Phantasm, a crystallized mystery that accompanies the Legend of Wands. Calarian Blood Archer rebellions against my beautiful father. That's the name of the Noble Phantasm. It unleashes the full power of her sword Clarent, taking out her helmet in order to use it. It unleashes a powerful crimson beam that destroys all in his path. It got strong feats, such as managing to clash and even overpower Siegfried's Noble Phantasm, which was able to match Brahmastra Kundala, which is pretty much a nuke, and in Vagrant Order was able to blow up a mountain. It also managed to one-shot a demon pillar, basically a mountain level plus Crimson Beam. We will move on to the next section, the speed. Now, this might be a controversial section. Well, I guess the whole scaling might be a controversial one, since I don't follow the common scaling where people put the most random servant as a multiversal character. But let's not deviate from the topic. While her speed isn't particularly flashy or demonstrative, we can still get a solid scaling. Let's retake. Against the important fights Mordred was involved. Her first fight against Siegfried and her fight against Arturia. With these two, we can take her speed being enough to maintain a serious fight against both of them. But let's take one note. She got an ability called Instinct, which I'll talk later too, but it basically improves her performance in combat by predicting movement of the opponent. So while her reactions are supported by her instinct, her raw speed shouldn't change too much. With that clarified, we can establish that she got a relative close speed to those two, which should be around massive supersonic level. Now, this is not exclusive of those fights. We can also get support from the fact that she should scale to Danzo, who got a mechanism that allows her to travel at 1,000 li per second, which translates to max 1,400 at least, which enters the speed of massively hypersonic 2. With the help of Pana Burst, she can also amplify her speed, managing to leap at bullet-like speed, and also she got a statement comparing her to a comet crossing the Earth. But it's more likely a case of flower language. I support this with the fact that she should be slower or close to the speed of the Gate of Babylon, which is pretty much lightning speed. This is consistent with the fact that Arturia can barely defend herself from it due to the speed and the number of the swords thrown by the Gate of Babylon. Now I need to clarify something before moving to the next point. Some people think that servants got immeasurable speed, mostly due to what happened in the Temple of Time during the final chapter of Figure North Part 1, but that's a wrong statement. It's not that the temple is beyond time actions, and to be there you need to be in the same status. The Temple of Time is called a conceptual universe, a domain where the laws that humans perceive are different from the common ones. Meaning that it's not that the reality marble is beyond the axis of time, but rather that the normal flow of time is working differently. Besides the fact that a normal human as Ritsuka is able to move and exist there without being a special existence. Same case for Mars, which in the later history has shown a lot to have problems against light speed characters. So this would left Mordred speed scaling still at massively hypersonic speed or close to lightning speed. So we can leave it at lightning speed thanks to the Prana Burst. Now, moving to the durability, Mordred is a pretty tanky servant. She was able to fight against strong servants again, such as Siegfried, and even take a point blank a common spell amp Noble Phantasm from Frankenstein, which is one of her best feats in durability. Also, she take attacks from Chiron and Arturiaf itself. Her armor also gives her extra protection. Through the limit was getting striked by the Golden Keter Malkuth from Abyssabram. So yeah, it isn't that strong. It gives her extra protection at the end. Her Dura suit still easily scaled to her strength, being like mountain level easily. Finally, the loot. We will take a look to her ability or hacks. First, let's begin with her class skills. Skills provided and buffed in some cases for being in a specific class, in this case, the Saber class. Thanks to it, she got a high magical resistance, enough to defend her from high thaumaturgy or greater rituals. Some of the feats for these hacks are poison, managing to survive but in a great pain, even to the hydro poison, pretty much good resistance. She also nullified a sleeping spell from Nursery Rhyme, thanks to her high magic resistance. And in general, it's a magical resistance which should easily cover things like mind manipulation, biology manipulation, and even soul manipulation to a certain extent. We also got the riding skill, though it's not relevant in the combat, so it's basically a skill that gives her the ability to pilot any vehicle, so it's not relevant to this fight. Now, moving to the best hacks she has, in this case, the personal skills. She got instinct, which I talked previously. It functions as a sixth sense to feel favorable developments for oneself in a battle, and helps the effects of obstructions that interfere with sight and hearing. It is also stated that even to be close to the level of precognition, managing to feel when an attack is critical without any previous knowledge, or detecting enemies before advancing scanners. Next, we got the skill Talk Prana Burst. It basically infuses prana in one's body or a weapon. It functions as an amplification in speed and power, performing as a red lightning just like a jet burst achieved through the prana. The skill shows that with this ability she was able to exchange attacks with Arturia itself. And her last important personal skill is the battle continuation. We only got a single feat of it, which is when she didn't die instantly to the Holy Lion's wrong a minute, and managing to give a fatal blow to Arturia. Basically, these skills makes the user withstand for a moment a fatal attack. Her hacks thanks to her physiology as a servant. Normally, in order to put Mordred to a fight, we will need to cover her need of mana to manifest it in the world, since servants need a supply of mana constantly to exist and manifest it. But for various circumstances, we will give her the Grail as her source of mana, giving her the capacity to use all her abilities without any limit at all. And with this, we can take out her Rampage gift that it's pretty much a nuclear meltdown and would be more like an obstacle instead of a good thing to her. Now, thanks to her physiology, she has the ability to regenerate in a mid-low level with the use of mana, but it takes time, so it's not like instantly. Next, it's her capacity to become intangible and invisible in her spirit, and her resistance to magic we already talked about. In resume, a powerful foe, mountain level plus, massively hypersonic speed, with good support and hacks, such as instinct and magical resistance. It's a pretty powerful foe against Carissa. So now, Lad will take the Carissa part.
Alright, now I'll be handling the Carissa portion of the video. Carissa's main weapon is the katana, a sword given to the leader of angels that borrows a fraction of the Archangel Michael's power to create destructive results while also providing a major buff to anyone they are leading. When the sword is within England, it can release the full power of its destructive capabilities, where it can unleash a slice capable of slicing through all spatial dimensions. In the novel, specific words, all dimensions, that can be represented with a whole number. This means this crazy sword can pretty much slice through anything, as it cleaves through both higher and lower dimensions, with it also creating dimensional wreckage, a very durable material that Carissa can use as projectiles and shields if need be. Even without the ability to slice through dimensions, she's still strong, and she's able to block, parry, and overpower several Saint tier opponents. For those who don't know, Saints are beings comparable to nuclear weapons. One Saint as a kid was able to kill a dragon, who crushed cities and swallowed mountains. These Saints are easily able to cleave through mountain busting attacks without even breaking a sweat, and Carissa was able to take on 2 of them at once, while being jumped by a whole magical army. You can tell she was on some crazy timing with that, as she dealt with Aqua, Knight Leader, and Kanzaki, Toma, and Aceres all at the same time, while taking no real damage. Her speed is also quite insane. Due to her fighting Kanzaki, she scales to her speed feats. Kanzaki was able to slice through lightning from Mjolnir, even going as far as being able to run from her lightning attacks, that had enough range to destroy 1/3 of the Radio Sunday castle, and Kanzaki cleared distance from the lightning even struck. There's also more lightning timing feats, with the Knights of England intercepting lightning attack, and Aqua of the back blitzing them when the Knights are under a more potent buff. It's quite clear Carissa reaches ranges of massively hypersonic to semi-relativistic, because she handled both opponents with ease. She even has an argument for faster than light combat speed and reactions, as Kanzaki Kaori was able to intercept the Dragon's Breath just before it hit Toma's face. Dragon's Breath is described as a beam of light about 20 times in narration, and even the Yen passage translations, the official translations, go further, describing it as having an individual photons with different properties, and the icing on the cake being the beam was able to destroy a satellite in the outer orbit in a short period of time. It's later to conclude that Komachi wanted to present this attack as being as fast as light is, and having light-like qualities. This would give Carissa faster light combat and reaction speeds. With her absurd stats, she is also a great and skilled fighter, matching Kanzaki in swordsmanship in close quarters, with Kanzaki's inferiors in the massacre being highly adept in training their weapons of choice, with Tatamiya being able to see the level of training an opponent has by just their stance. Kanzaki is superior to him, and has her own sword training and uses quick draws, with Carissa also outfighting Aqua and Knight Leader, who are both highly skilled combatants. Aqua being an experienced mercenary and Knight Leader being ahead of all the knights. Carissa pretty much outsmarts and outmaneuvers all 3 of them in their fight. To top it all off, Carissa has a sixth sense that allows her to see when attacks are coming before they even happen. So, in conclusion, under standard battle assumptions, both characters at their peaks, Carissa will slice through Mordred like butter. Mordred is quite powerful at Mountain Level Plus, which is on par with Carissa's power, but Carissa has a great equalizer, or superior, in a dimensional slash, which would bisect her in half, with quite a large speed difference, with Carissa being faster along with her sixth sense, and Mordred doesn't have much of a chance in close quarters. Safe to say, this fight with Carissa will solidify herself as a winner of the battle for Britain. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.